What's going on?
Welcome to the Zompire Horde podcast. Join us every Monday, 7 p.m. Pacific, 10 p.m. Eastern, as your hosts, Vlad the Rad and Michelle of the Dead, discuss horror, true crime, and the macabre. Episodes available on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. Join us, won't you? Hello, and welcome to an all-new Zompire Horde podcast. With my co-host, Derek Winski. Derek, we have a special guest tonight. Who's on the show?
I believe it's Michelle of the Dead.
Michelle of the Dead. Let's go ahead and bring her on.
Hey everyone.
That
was weird.
That was my idea. I wanted to play a little trick or treat.
Yeah, I was like, what's going on here?
But I didn't want to offer the treat. It was just the trick. But I thought it would be a comical way to kind of intro the show today.
That was a good one. You got me.
But as always, my awesome
good job. You win.
And we do have Derek Winski with us.
Yes.
So there you go. So I hope my joke was funny enough.
It was funny. Hey, Derek, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Just a horror freak from Minnesota, body piercer. Vlad already has one of my shirts that he promoted a couple shows ago, maybe.
When I incorrectly kept saying Michigan when I should have been.
Michigan,
oh yeah, at the end of the show, you said Michigan, and like afterwards, he's like, but it's Minnesota.
Yeah, like
so yeah, that was a kick-ass shirt.
Yeah.
Russ, Melissa, hey.
Hi, what a fun thing you did there. Okay, so Melissa liked it. What's up, Russ Stever? So tonight we're going to talk about
Holstiver. Don't you remember?
Holstiver.
Don't you remember?
Yeah. Look, I might have taken a lot of RSO before this episode, and so
you may have.
I can't be held accountable for anything that comes out of my mouth.
All right. Oh, hey, good. Russ finally has like a second of time off of work.
Oh yeah, because he actually does. He works at Spirit Halloween.
He is a freaking manager there, and he works like 150 hours a week.
Damn, that's crazy.
Best story ever.
Hey, Anne-Marie. Hey, that's Nick the Zombie's mom.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Steven will be here. Nick will be here. Do you want to tell them what we're talking about tonight?
Well, really quick, why don't you go ahead while we have everyone here? Tell us, you had some news we want to hear first before we jump into it. Go. Boom. What's happening?
Who, Derek?
No, you.
Oh, me? Oh,
yeah.
So those who know me know that I helped some friends make a Friday the 13th movie. It's a fan film, but it's a really, really good fan film. It was Friday the 13th Vengeance came out a couple of years ago. And so we just made Vengeance Part 2, which is Bloodlines. And the premiere is on Wednesday, and it's going to be super fancy. If you are in the Seattle area, you need to come down, get a ticket. I think tickets are like $24. You got to come and watch the movie with the cast and the crew, some of us anyway. I'll be there. You get to watch me die. Super exciting. We're going to have Darcy DeMoss. She played Nikki on Friday the 13th, Part 6 in the actual Friday the 13th. She came back and played in our movie. She's going to be there in person. Please, you can watch a movie with her.
My favorite role, though, was, what was it called? Can't Buy Me Love.
Yeah, there you go. Yep. Well, she's going to be there. And you say that's one reason you should drive 3 hours. So
we do have a first-time viewer here. Angela Rule says hello.
Woo! Hey, Angela.
First-time viewer, all right.
A first-time viewer.
Welcome to 66.6 on your AM dial.
That's right. What's up, Will? My gosh. Oh yeah, Jazzercise girl. So yeah, we're gonna have a few other people there, including me. So I did makeup on the film and had a small role, and it's going to be freaking awesome. It's such a killer movie, literally and figuratively speaking. I cannot wait to see the whole thing from like beginning to end. You know, I was there for the making of it, but I haven't seen it.
Right.
So
this will be your first viewing of it too. That's
yes. We're all going to view it together, and it's going to be super fun. So that's it. Wait, I have it on my phone. It is. Hold on. Give me just a second.
This says, this is Jason, says I'm Facebook user. I'm assuming that's Jason Voorhees.
I have no idea with so many Jasons.
Well, probably I'm thinking Jason Brooks.
I doubt it.
You don't
So
think
it is at the Historic Event Theater in Everett, Washington.
That's right.
So Darcy Moss is, Tommy McLaughlin's going to be there. You know, he wrote and directed Friday the 13th Part 6, and he came in as a character in our film. Super nice guy. Got to do his makeup too. He was actually not feeling good when he was on, you know, and he freaking busted through anyway. He was so, hey, it is Jason. What's up? Rob Mello is going to be there. We're going to have Paul Taylor. Jason's going to be there. Jason is this movie. He wrote it. He freaking did all the effects. He's Jason in it. He did everything. He did everything.
And by Jason, he means Jason Brooks.
Equals Jason Voorhees. He is the new Jason Voorhees. The immortal Jason Voorhees, as Peter Anthony would say.
If you haven't seen the episode, go back in our catalog. We did an episode with Jason Brooks here on the Zompire Horde podcast.
Yes, it was a super fun episode. He's a really nice guy, super fucking talented. He does Jason like you would not believe. He's incredible.
Yes. So, with that said, go to the premiere on Wednesday if you're in the Seattle area.
Yes, it's going to be worth it. It's going to be so much fun. We're going to be all dressed up, and it's just going to be a freaking great time. So I would love to see all of you there that are in the area anyway. So anyways, speaking of horror movies.
Rob Zombie's The Munsters. Derek, you watched it as many times as I did. What did you, let's kick it off.
Wait. How many times did you watch it?
I watched it 3 times.
Okay. Bye, Jason. He's leaving. He made an appearance.
Oh, well, hey. He's a good dude. We love Jason.
Yeah, he's cool.
But anyway,
hey, Luke is here. Munsters. How many times did you guys watch it?
3 times.
Really?
Yeah.
Did you really have to just dissect it, though? Are we looking for stuff?
I think I was watching it just to kind of like it, but it didn't get that part.
Well, I went in with an open mind, and I'm just going to go ahead and say I was entertained. I liked the movie. There was, I liked the costumes. I thought it was super campy, cute, and funny, just like it's supposed to be. I don't think it's supposed to be a duplicate of the original, because it's not. One thing I just couldn't, and I'd hate to say it, I just couldn't, is freaking Sherry is Lily, man. It's like it was forced. You know, there's like, I mean, the movements and stuff she had, she couldn't encompass them the same way. There was like way too much of this. It was like the chick on the freaking commercial, those insurance commercials, Flo, how she's like this, and there was this. It was like just way too fucking much, too exaggerated, too forced, and I don't know. I felt bad. I know they're having a great time making that movie, and I don't want to say anything bad about her, but I just couldn't. Everything else was great. I loved the other characters, all of them.
You can give your honest opinion about, an acting performance, and I'm sure it's, taken with a grain of salt to be, but I agree with you. I thought that her, the voice was terrible. Some of her mannerisms, though, I kind of saw Lily, but then they were very like
it was too much.
Yeah, they weren't.
There was too many of them.
It was too rough. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it was too forced. Because there's like a lot of this, and that's just kind of how she was, but it wasn't natural for her. It wasn't like,
right.
It wasn't graceful with her, and then just the whole like the googly eye head movements were just like way too almost robotic, I guess.
Yeah.
She looked really cute. I liked her costume. What was that?
Derek?
I saw Cruella DeVille with her hair because it was just like half and half blonde.
Yeah.
Where Lily only had, like a couple streaks of the gray or whatever. I just saw Cruella DeVille there way too much.
Yeah, and I probably would have gone with like maybe like a lace front wig, so it wasn't so much of like this harsh line. But but who am I to talk? I work on movie sets with zero budget, so we do what we can.
Well, and one of the things that I noticed about her too, that was, different for this movie than the original, but I didn't really like, was some of her costuming. There was a scene, I think, when they were like walking through Paris, and she had that big metal, like, skull belt buckle with like the bat or the
Oh, was that when she was wearing those like palazzo pants that I thought were really cute, and I really want to wear those?
That's beyond my
that wasn't a Lily Munster.
There were several.
That was a Sherry Moon Zombie.
Yeah.
Outfit, which was a cute outfit.
Let's see. I'm sorry, I got backed up here on.
That's okay. That's okay.
So now I thought it was entertaining as long as you didn't compare them, though. Lily smiled way too much for her character. Agreed.
Right.
Herman was perfect for me.
See, I can see why Herman would be like goofy to a lot of people, but me personally, I've met Jeff Daniel Phillips, and I have like this huge crush on him, and it could have been like the most horrifying thing in the world, and I probably would have loved it. So,
right.
I think they made Herman dumber.
They did.
You know, and I mean, it made it more parody.
Yeah,
definitely.
Yeah, agreed.
You know, it is what it is, but he didn't have to be that low.
Because I feel like Herman Munster, he wasn't like a brainiac or anything, but he was a little bit more classy, I guess, in the way he spoke, and I know this was supposed to be, you know, their version and not a duplicate, you know.
The one thing,
and that's the Rob Zombie spin, I guess. Everybody's worried about them ruining it by making it super dark, which he didn't do. I think he just made it super exaggerated in other ways.
The one thing I did appreciate I didn't like Jeff Daniel Phillips as Herman myself. The one thing I will give him credit for is he nailed the laugh. Like I thought that, and like the body shape that they've built for him and everything was perfect and spot on. And although I hated most of Lily's costuming, almost every single one that he was in was 100% spot on. You know what I mean? Every outfit I saw him in, I was like, that's what Herman Munster wears.
Yeah.
In color, which I was weird, but.
Yeah. I think his hands looked like really small. I wish they would have put like gloves or something, because it looked like his hands were just so like small compared to the rest of him. It was disproportionately small, and I'm like, wait a minute.
Will Richard says it would have been dope in black and white.
It would have been.
Which I agree. They actually did that one scene where they're like the montage where they're driving and taking pictures, and it was in black and white. And I made a note in here. One of my notes was like how much better they looked in their makeup than in the colored version. You know what I mean? Yeah. I don't know if anyone else noticed it. One of the things I saw that jumped out to me was the side scar. I think I posted on Facebook.
I saw that. It could have been a better blend.
What's that?
Like a watermelon prosthetic would have been good.
It looked like they filled it with like a red nail polish. It was just out of.
Yeah. Well, and they didn't. He had like black stubble on his face, but like right around that cut, there was like no stubble there. And I thought like that's what made it jump out even worse. If they had at least hand poked in that stubble a little bit or something, it would have blended a little bit better. But it just stuck out for me in certain scenes that I was like, God, it just looks so fake. And another one that you guys, I don't know if you guys noticed or not, but the scene where they're with the creature from the Black Lagoon, that mask, I swear to God, is a Trick or Treat Studios mask. Like, it was so Halloween. It was not funny. Like I was like, you gave no fucks about like what you were gonna do with this character. You're like, call Trick or Treat Studios, give me some fins, give me a fucking trench coat and a mask, and that's it.
Yeah, very.
I don't know. I just wish they would have done a little bit like I don't know. So they should have done something with that better. That was just bad costuming.
Yeah.
I also didn't like. I wasn't really like their Sonny and Cher scene, and I don't know, like the whole like musical singing parts was pretty stupid. I think. Yes, Herman Munster is the king of dad jokes.
I'm telling you right now, I don't know if you guys are like me. I love like psychobilly and rockabilly and that kind of music. And I'm telling you right now, Herman and the Punk Rods, I would go 100% go see that band every fucking weekend, 100 days a year, like no fucking problem. Like I was sitting, and it was stupid because like the whole movie, I kept seeing in the trailer where they would show him like, you know what I mean? Like singing and headbanging. And I'm like, dude, I don't know what that is, but I can't wait to see it. And as soon as that scene came on, man, I'm like, yes. I was like, dude, I want a Herman in the punk rock shirt. You know what I mean?
Like Coffin Cats and stuff like that when he was up there.
100%. Yeah. I was pretty stoked on like that. They kind of gave him like a punk rockabilly, like psychedelic vibe, even through the whole movie when they were at the excuse me, at the prison resort, and he was wearing like the pinstripe prison suit that was like blah blah penal penitentiary.
Yeah,
like, it was just perfect.
Penal colony.
Yeah, that was it.
Yeah.
That's good stuff.
I kind of wish they would have went more with the like the music that they had was all over the place. I kind of wish they would have went more with the rockabilly theme throughout the whole thing. Just because of, Dragula and everything, that's associated with the monsters.
Right.
It just that theme with all the rockabilly that's out there would have been awesome.
Yeah.
That was one of the things I got it in the intro part where she goes on the date with what the hell is his name? Yeah,
oh my god, Warlock. I freaking love that character so fucking much. He was awesome. And I was like, their characters were great.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I know people are gonna disagree and everybody's got opinions and stuff, but dude, I freaking love that dude.
Well, and
he was hilarious.
Music there, but like there was a lot of other spots where they could have used like some more psychobilly, rockabilly. You know what I mean? Maybe that would have just been fitting for the movie, and like kind of like that whole genre, psychobilly and punk and horrorbilly and all that shit is really based on the original scene was growing up on the Munsters, the Misfits, and those guys.
Yeah.
So it would have been really fitting, but I was glad that his band was that way.
Yeah.
One thing I don't
was
Orlock
characters. You want to see my fuzzy little nuggets?
when he gets eaten at the end, it just fucking kills me, dude.
By his fuzzy little nuggets
on the newspaper, I was just dead. I don't want to like shit on the film too bad because I do want to say Daniel Roebuck absolutely nailed Grandpa. If you disagree with me, debate a wall. Because and
that was great.
I read a cool story while I was researching this too. Him and Tony Gwynn, Fred Gwynn, I'm going baseball, worked on a movie together, and he actually got he's like so obsessed with the Munsters, got him to sign a Herman Munster doll for him. And the fact that he was like to play Grandpa, I was like, it just shows that he put Rob Zombie put the forethought in to bringing in people who actually cared about the movie enough, and to they enjoyed and wanted to be a part of it so much. And I think it really transitioned well with his performance, because it was his to me was the very best performance in the whole movie.
Yeah, I loved it. That was a great character.
It was.
The other one I liked a lot was Dr. Wolfgang Richard Brake. I thought he was fucking hilarious.
Yeah, I freaking love him. He's cool. I've met him a couple times too.
Grandpa killed it for sure.
Grandpa did kill it.
This film has gotten the biggest amount of mixed reviews. Do you think it was given a sequel, it would give them time to work out the spots that people didn't enjoy and make a better movie? I think people, to be honest, in my opinion, everyone, either you like what Rob Zombie does or you hate it. And with this one, I think it's either you like Rob Zombie and you can get past what the Munsters is and see it for his version of the Munsters, or you just hate Rob Zombie and you're just gonna hate it. There's
see, that's the thing. It's like I think the people hate it. Some of them are hating it just because Rob Zombie. It's like, I don't know. The analogy that always comes to mind about things like this is like, if you already have set in your mind that the movie's gonna suck, you're gonna go to the movie and the movie's gonna suck because you've already made up your mind.
Right.
It's like, oh, just because it's Rob Zombie to hate Rob Zombie is going to suck. It's like,
I didn't completely hate, but I wish it wouldn't have all been prequel.
Right.
Get a little bit more into 1313 Mockingbird and when they go after in Hollywood and that story too.
Yeah.
Instead, it kind of seemed like it went almost nowhere.
Yeah.
And then right where everybody knows is where it ended. And you just kind of left like, oh, now I know where we're going with it.
Yeah.
Well, and that was the thing too. I had in one of my notes, I said the transition between Transylvania and Hollywood was just kind of a weird, like they didn't fight to save their castle. They were just like, all right, we're moving.
Yeah, it was just like, oh, okay, well, this is, I guess they were maybe couldn't figure out another way to quickly do a transition that would fit the time frame of the movie. I don't know.
Sure.
I mean, what else would you? I mean, throw out some ideas. Throw out some ideas. If you were going to do it differently, how would you do the transition?
Well, I would
like maybe their house caught on fire and they had to move. I don't know.
I would have either done a full prequel in Transylvania, and then like
Right.
the ending being them having to leave because Herman's getting burnt out of town or something for some zany thing, and then the next would be like them arriving and like establishing their story in Hollywood. Would have been, to me, I think they should have just broken into 2 stories. I think there should have been a prequel and then a continuation, because like they didn't give enough time to establish either story. It was like
right. There wasn't a lot of like they needed to build on it more.
That's where I was going with it. Exactly. Let's see. Richard Brake was honestly the only character I actually enjoyed. I actually wrote 2 other guys that I liked. George Garcia as Floop.
Oh my God. I love that character. He was freaking awesome.
And Sylvester McCoy as Igor, I thought was awesome.
Yeah.
And I don't know the name.
I mean, he was always so bored.
Dude, you could do a whole. I want to see a movie about Zoya's and Grandpa's like marriage. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, whatever. I want to know what that was like. There should be a spinoff on just them being married, like the time they were married.
Right.
The prequel.
One of the things that you guys would probably agree with me with is they did use 2 actors from the original Munsters, Pat Priest and Butch Patrick, and they only used them really as voice actors and not really in a way that you even knew who the fuck they were. And I thought that was a very, like, I wouldn't say disrespectful, because he did put them in the movie, but as a fan, like, I would want to see them in some capacity.
You would want to put a little bit more of the
instead of the smoking headed robot.
Which did you have any? I mean, you probably knew it was Butch Patrick, but did you really know it was Butch Patrick?
No.
The airline stewardess, you didn't know that was. You know what I mean? Like, but I thought it was cool that they were in it. But again, I thought it was a missed opportunity not having them more involved and like actually having them on camera.
Right.
I am happy that when Peterson said that she was gonna be dressed up, that they didn't have her as Elvira. I'm glad they had her as a witch or something. That would have been like jumping the shark. Like,
it's like I almost didn't recognize her.
No.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
There she is.
I think I got like spoiled to that, but like her scene before the movie came out for some reason.
Probably.
But one of the things I actually did write down was I thought
we're just desensitized. What?
I thought one of the things I wrote down about her scene was I thought it was weird where she warns them like, "Hey, I'm going to be in makeup. I'm going to a Halloween party," and then she opens the door and passes out because Frankenstein and 2 vampires are standing in front of her. Like, you're dressed up to go to a Halloween party. You're dressed like a witch. Like, and these people knock on your door and it's Frankenstein and 2 vampires.
Well, maybe she could tell that they were real and not costumes.
I mean, I guess.
I don't know. Her makeup was almost as good as, Herman's.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fair. There was a lot to the movie I enjoyed. I was trying to think. Oh yeah. Derek, did you cringe as much as I did during the tattoo scene when they were like not wearing gloves?
I did. I actually was trying to Google to see who the artist was.
Right.
Like, is it really an artist, or was it somebody that was?
It probably was not.
They ordered it.
Think that they know plenty of tattoo artists who'd be like, "Hey, you want to be my movie real quick?" And pretend like you're giving a tattoo. Sure, man.
Yeah.
Mulder. He's got a cone on his head and he's trying to scratch his ear.
Poor Bubba.
Nah, fuck him. He won't leave his ass alone. What the hell were we just talking about? Sorry. They're tattooing. And the thing is, too, it's like Rob Zombie has enough tattoos and been around the industry enough to know that like that's a huge no-no. And I was a little surprised that I saw that in there, to be honest with you.
And the will.
Well, wasn't this supposed to be taking place in like the 50s, though?
Yeah.
But you're
Richard.
And they weren't wearing a lot of gloves back then when they were tattooing people.
Wait, what'd you say, Derek?
Will Richards, the one that just commented, he actually works at my shop.
He's a tattoo artist.
What's up, Will?
The only thing, so here's what I would say. Even if it is in the 50s, it perpetrates a very negative part of tattooing, the spreading of disease and things like that. So, and yes, I get that maybe it's supposed to be time.
It was periodically correct.
Right, but I assure you, the entire tattoo industry wishes it was not.
Oh God, I know. I collect tattoos myself.
I know you know. But I'm just saying, like that was a cringe moment for me.
I noticed it and went, oh, yeah.
But that's when I had to tell myself, oh, it's the 50s.
Yeah.
But my first thought was ew, but my second thought was, oh, it's the 50s. So.
Did you?
Yes, Will, you should have been in the movie.
Who said that? Oh, there you go. Yeah, agreed.
Did you see? I made note of this, that when Herman's reading the paper and it says that Orlick died from getting eaten by his rats, on the back page it reminded me of you because they were selling an inhaler.
Nice.
I really need to come up with a logo that's Vlad the Inhaler now. I need to stop being so lazy about that. That one that I had that has the inhaler with the Turkish hat or whatever on is pretty funny, but
I love that one. Why can't you do that one?
No, I guess I can. Just
if you get it in a girl's shirt, I'll get one. I'll wear it.
All right, that'll be it.
I'll support you.
Bet. Real quick too, while I'm thinking about it, did you guys notice some of the set designs were really badass, but some of them had it was the design inside of a Spirit Halloween? There were some scenes when they were at the dinner table where you're just this is absolutely gorgeous. And then there's scenes when they're in their tomb and it looks like someone painted pillars on the wall with black paint on a gray wall, you know?
I didn't. I'll have to watch it again. I only watched it one time.
Right.
I did like when Lily was going to meet Herman and she stopped in front of his billboard thing, his lit up sign on the wall, and his eyes were bulging out of his head and he had that wow look as he was it looked like he was looking at her.
Yeah.
I did like some of those approaches where they had that.
Some of the cinematography was actually pretty dope.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that some of it was really cool. It was almost had a little bit of a grindhouse edge to it, you know?
Yeah.
That's what I thought. That black and white scene in the car. That's what I was thinking. Grindhouse, Sin City.
Type, yeah.
Almost like Tarantino type.
Yeah. Ooh, I just got goosebumps because you read my mind.
It was really good. I like that.
I like that. So there's some really fun parts to it. I was entertained. I wasn't bored at all. I was from the beginning. I was it was totally entertaining. So I don't know how many stars I would give because I'm not good at stuff like that. But I don't know. I didn't hate it.
I asked Angela Rule, Angela C. Monster, she's known as. And she's never watched the original Munsters. She knows nothing about it. And she likes some Rob Zombie movies. She doesn't like others. So she's pretty middle of the road. And I said, out of 5, she watched it one time with me today. And I said, out of 5 stars, what do you give it? And she goes, I didn't love it. It's not something I'm I need to buy the shirt and wear the patch and da-da-da-da. But it's not the worst thing I've ever seen either. And I said, well, on a scale of the best and worst, where do you fall? And she's pretty much in the middle. So she gave it 2.5 out of 5 stars.
Okay.
So if you go by those measurements,
do we have to? Do I have to play this game?
You get to play this game, not play this game, and kill Derek. What order are you doing?
Wait. Is that fuck, marry, kill?
Yeah.
Oh, pass.
Facebook user says, I like all of his other movies. I tried to like it. I just couldn't get there. And that's a fair assessment. So for me, really quick, when I watched it the first time and I hated it because I did want it to be more of the original Munsters. And one of the things I wanted to point out too, Derek, too, before I forget, because it was something you and I talked about earlier. One of the things that bothered us was the damn laser eyes.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
I couldn't get past that.
I didn't like that.
I was telling Derek, I was like, dude, I'm going through everything in my head. I got the box set. I've watched it 100 times, usually on mushrooms, but I've watched it 100 times. and I can't for the life of me ever remember an episode where she had fucking lasers shooting out of her eyes.
Yeah, I didn't like that. That
I've
was
never
pretty.
seen it either. Yeah, that was just kind of a weird, like in the wedding scene shit.
It was a weird way
Yeah.
that they were making her like glamour people or whatever you want to call it.
Right. Oh yeah, I guess that. Yeah, that failed. They shouldn't have done that.
Yeah, I didn't.
Like this. Yeah, it just that could have been way better. I mean, for me, I'll say that going into it, I either wanted like an absolute X-rated, blood fest like Devil's Rejects, which I knew it wasn't going to be that.
Right. Aren't you glad he didn't ruin it by making it dark?
Well, I think it's going to be a great movie that parents can use to help transition kids from a young age into horror movies and like the scarier stuff, right? So like there's not a lot of movies other than like the Little Monsters and Monster Squad and stuff like that, which is kind of dated. So this is more of something that's newer that I think would be good for parents and kids to kind of be able to enjoy together. I mean, I'm not bummed that I watched it. I give it a 2.5 star because I enjoyed it for what it was, which was kind of like a giggle fest for me.
Yeah, I'll go with 3 out of 5.
That's right. About 3. It was quirky enough to, to get it.
Maybe even a 3.447.
Okay, that's pretty precise.
3.14.
Yeah, it's like I said, it's not something I'm going to go out and buy the action figures for and the Funko Pops and collect or anything like that. But it's not something like, unless my daughter's visiting and from New Zealand, and I'm pretty sure she just messaged today that she watched it. I don't think
it was fun. It was a fun movie. If you don't pick it apart and you just watch it to enjoy it, it's a good time.
Hold on. Steven Belzer says Rob Zombie really needs to be a guest on here at some point.
Oh, dude.
Get an idea of what
I don't even think he does conventions. I think it would be impossible to get him.
Yeah, we need about 1 billion followers, I'm sure.
We need about $1 billion.
So share us around to your friends and family.
Right?
Help us get Rob Zombie on the show because I got questions. No, but overall, I think it was a good job. I don't think it was, I think he was kind of, his hands were tied a little bit in the making of it, like he said already. I just, like I said earlier.
Well, there were certain things that he couldn't do. Right. And had to do differently because of like licensing and such.
A lot of it was overseas in Budapest or whatever.
Oh, was it?
That's what I was under the impression.
I would imagine that's where probably a lot of that Transylvania, unless it was a built set, but I would imagine.
Yeah, they were talking about.
Wait a minute, castles. Steven, does Nick know Rob Zombie? Are we like 1 degree away here?
Make Nick beg him. Nick, please, Nick.
Nick,
we need Rob Zombie. So anyway,
I know. I was like thinking. I started like thinking, what if?
So all right, well, we all kind of aren't bummed we watch it, and we're not probably ever going to see it again. Is I think the moral of this.
Yeah,
story.
I'm just not.
At least I don't have to watch it a 4th time.
That's true. You've done
you guys watched it 3 times. That's impressive.
You've done the.
I might watch it again now after we've had our discussion. Maybe not tonight because I've been going so hard, dude. I need to rest. Well, I haven't even talked to you in like a week. I haven't even told you about all the freaking bullshit over the weekend. It wasn't bullshit. I was just really busy. But yes, that's true, Anne-Marie. He is so adorable. He's my little boyfriend. I love Nick.
Hey. We got a little Zombie Horde romance brewing.
I mean, I've known Nick for, God, I don't know, 5 or 6 years maybe now.
Right on.
Since before he was 21.
I think I saw Nick was going to the conventions back in 2011 and 12 when I was there.
Probably. Yeah. Everybody knows him. He's
the mainstay.
He's a local celeb. And he's hilarious.
Well, Derek, do you have any parting words for us? Any words of wisdom? Don't eat yellow snow. You live in Minneapolis.
Plug your shop.
Get over here so I can pierce your ear. I don't know. We need to.
There you go. And where are you located?
In Minnesota.
There you go. See, Vlad. What's your shop's name?
It's called the Canvas Tattoo Studio.
Excellent. And Will works there also.
And Will is one of the tattoo artists there. Yeah.
Perfect.
Yep.
He's got a certain set of skills.
Nice. Yes, that's true.
Well, thank you, man, for coming on and breaking down that flick with us. We appreciate you, brother.
Yeah, thank you very much.
And
we'll come back again now. You hear?
Beverly Hillbillies. That works.
Later, brother.
Bye, Derek. That was a fun show.
Well, all right. What's that?
That was a fun show. You know what's funny is that we never even discussed this after watching it with one another. This is the first time. I don't know if everybody knows or not. We haven't talked about this until just now. So I had no idea if you hated it or liked it, and you had no idea if I hated it or liked it until this episode. Can you believe we've had like 32 episodes? This is our 32nd freaking episode.
32nd freaking episode.
Video episode, because we had like 10 like just audio ones prior to that.
Yes, and by the way, we have been uploading all of our episodes to our Apple, Spotify, I don't know, all those things. They're up on all of them. So all you gotta do is type in
YouTube, Spotify, Apple. Are we on Twitch still?
No, that's like for mostly gaming. Nobody cared.
I know. Yeah.
But we're on Google Podcasts.
Yeah, you can find us just about anywhere. Zompire Horde Podcast with Vlad the Rad, Michelle of the Dead.
And until next time, folks.
Welcome to the Zompire Horde Podcast. Join us every Monday, 7 p.m. Pacific, 10 p.m. Eastern, as your hosts, Vlad the Rad and Michelle of the Dead, discuss horror, true crime, and the macabre. Episodes available on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. Join us, won't you?